and women just keep evolving, and men just are left behind.
He asked me what my favorite position is. You don't even know what type of restaurant I like. You ain't even ask.
Spending 5 hours going on a date with the girl and you might smash. In those 5 hours, I could have made $5 million. Prostitutes like $500.
And I feel like black men do not have a strong desire anymore to be with black women.
Girls are like, oh my God, so many guys tried to talk to me, or all I have to do is post and they're all going to come back.
Suggesting these low quality, low effort, disrespectful, slap in the face ass dates, coffee dates, whatever the else.
Men will come into my life thinking that they're competing with other men, when really they're competing with my solitude.
Good for you? What?
Just buying a prostitute.
You know, that's honestly why rich guys buy prostitutes, you know, because spending 5 hours going on a date with the girl and you might smash. In those 5 hours, I could have made $5 million. Prostitutes like $500. In that time, that bill was over there. I could have got myself the finest Puerto Rican $500 hooker.
So I've been single for like a while now, and the reason why is because men will come into my life thinking that they're competing with other men, when really they're competing with my solitude.
It's delusional.
Because me and that bitch are like this. And the idea of a man right now has never been so disinteresting to me in my life. Like, the quality of men that are out there right now, the behavior of men right now, it just makes me appreciate my solitude so much more. Which is why I just think that we should all just have like little crushes, you know, have a work crush, have a grocery store crush, you know, just, or like have that fictional character in your book, because that's not going to disappoint you. You will only disappoint yourself when you get to know them, okay? The lack of information is what keeps the delusion alive. So the more delusional I am about my crush, the better and happier I will be.
Someone call a search party because these TikToks are lost in Delulu land.
When they start talking,
this is the problem.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's just how I feel. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay.
You see, she just showed the problem with dating today, because you said the more delusional I am, most of you ladies are delusional. That's the problem with dating. And men have figured it out. That's why men have given up on dating. When a guy said a man can be rich, pay someone $500, he's not wasting the time. He's getting someone that's giving him what he wants. He's getting right to it, leaving, going on about his day, and then the man can get right to it again. Now, do I think it's okay? No. But I understand it. You know, with the way dating is nowadays, I understand it. Like, you want to be delusional. You want the guy to look good and have that crush so you can be delusional. And that's why men aren't paying for dates. I talked about that a little bit last night, but you have to understand, ladies are feeding into the delusion. They see that guy that they feel is a 10, that guy they feel is an alpha. What do? Come to me. And you see this all the time. And what do you see it in? Certain people. Like, if I watch a video right now, I always use him. If I look at King 6'8" the Great, you see the delusion with most of these ladies. It's bad.
Dating today is stressful. Honey, I met a man yesterday. We talked, we text. Today, he asked me what my favorite position is. You don't even know what type of restaurant I like. You ain't even ask me about my restaurant. How about you ask me about my favorite restaurant? Like, what's wrong with y'all? You ain't got nothing to talk about. And then these YNs will WYD you to death. This man WYD'd me 15 times in one work shift. I told you I work 9 to 6.
Things are changing.
I can't.
Sometimes I have the impulse to meet up with a guy, and sometimes I really do want to share a little kiss, have a little cuddle. But to do all of that, I literally have to like prepare myself for it mentally, because most men just have such a predatory, and I said most, not all, but most men have such a predatory nature that you have to be assertive when dealing with men. Like, you have to be prepared to say no. You have to be prepared to do this, do that. Like, you have to, like, you can't just chill. Like, it's never a chill vibe. Like, I always have to be prepared for war if I'm gonna go hang out with a man. Like, ugh, I just can't do it. Like, all they want to do, like, we can't just kiss. We can't just, no.
Is she serious? What are we, 5? Like, I would think that, I gotta say this. This lady may be young. I don't know how old she is. She could be like 22, probably had some one time, twice, but that's not the case. That's not the case with most of you. Why? Because, as the other girl said, I have crushes. Your crush. You're not going to have an occasional, I love you, I think you're so beautiful. That's things you do with your wife. You're not my wife. You haven't been my girl for like 5-6 years. Smooches. Like, huh? They want to be kids. Not on my watch. That's how men feel.
I want to be in a relationship. And I've told my parents, I don't even know if I'm going to get married. And I might be completely gay. And I truly feel like the gap of maturity between men and women has gotten so much larger, and women just keep evolving and men just are left behind. And
who is that girl?
I tell my mom all this and I'm like, I'm never going to get married. Like, I don't want to be with anyone. Like, literally, I cannot be with anyone because I refuse to settle. And she's,
I got to stop this. I don't want to pause in the middle. She just said I might be completely gay. Like, huh? They just make content to make it. You just said, I think I might be completely gay, but then you're blaming everything on men. But you said you might be gay. What's a man going to waste his time for? This is the date market nowadays.
It's like, well, you'll meet someone. I met your father. My dad is 60. You're telling me I have to be with someone who's 60 plus? It's really interesting to me, though, because I constantly see videos of men being like, no one wants to be in a relationship. Everyone is single. Oh my gosh, like, no one wants to date me. No one wants to go on dates. Yes, we do want to go on dates, but we don't want to go on dates in our apartment or yours. I always feel like a therapist. They never ask me anything about myself. They always are telling me what's ever going on in their life. If something does come up, it's easier for them to lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm down the street. Oh yeah, I'm inside, knowing damn well they aren't even there, or they just ghost completely. And the way that men never hold other men accountable, it does not make me want to be with a man.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
It literally makes me fear for my life, because imagine, my partner has a friend and they see my partner smack me or do something to me, and they do nothing to check their friend. What is going on? And I'm becoming more and more okay with being alone. I'm finding things to do by myself. I go to eat by myself. I'll hang out with my friends. I don't even want kids. I don't want any connection to anyone who is going to switch up at any point. And personally, if you start doing all the great things and you're taking me out, getting me flowers, picking me up, and then all of a sudden we get together and it stops, I'm just going to go and find someone else who's going to do that and continue with the consistent behavior. And I feel like a couple weeks ago, I was in active yearning for being with someone. I was really upset. I still miss my ex and everything like that. And then I deleted Instagram, and I've really been trying to be more present. And I don't know what the hell happened, but life has just been so much better. So much better.
No, it hasn't. She's doing, what do you call that? She's replacing hobbies she's used to, right? This is a thing people do, like when they're trying to get over drugs, when they're sex addicts and trying to get over not getting any. So she takes the painting. She's trying to get over her sex addiction. I'm telling you guys, I feel like a psychologist watching you ladies. Seriously, every video is it's like I'm sitting there with a book, while she's painting. I'm painting, huh? I'm sitting painting. These are signs of replacement. She's replacing men with painting. And you can hear she's getting frustrated at men now. And she's serious. Look at her. she's really frustrated. These ladies are showing their soul on the internet, and men are here for it. You have to understand what you ladies are doing. Seriously, the best thing to do would be to shut down all of your TikTok accounts because I believe you. Like, this is convincing, right, guys? She's not lying. If she's lying, she's a good salesperson, but I don't think so because she's showing the replacing of hobbies. She's replacing not getting a man. She's showing her frustration. And dating sucks and men are not evolving. Like, you want men to go get degrees? Like, it's funny, man. I gotta say this. Hold on, let me cook for a second because they're still on that degrees and men are not evolving, right? And only if you knew what I show men how to do, right? I show men how to make thousands, if not millions, $400. I show men how to run a company right now, how to get others to work for them and make tons of money on discount still for $150. Men are not evolving. They have no idea. I tell you, men are evolving, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to help them evolve because me, I'm the Iceman. Your worst nightmare.
So many men are concerned with what they are going to get in exchange for a plate of food. They can't even hold a decent conversation with you because they're more focused on if there's going to be dessert after dessert. And it's like, sir, I am trying to get to know you. You are a complete stranger. And that's why you see so many men suggesting these low quality, low effort, disrespectful, slap in the face ass dates, such as walk dates, coffee dates, whatever the else stupid ass shit they'd be recommending so they can get out of paying some not even real money, right? $100, $200, because they feel like, oh, if I spend $100 on food, if I spend $200 on food, you owe me.
No. You do, right? Because guys know it's cheaper to pay to play. And it's guys shouldn't be saying it to you. I say that if a guy is taking your order on a date and then he says that or he shows it, I won't lie. He's somewhat off for that because you got to be player out here. You can't let these girls see your emotions. Keep it cool. You know what you got to be? Nonchalant. Guys, for a while, I was so lovey-dovey. Hey, Starshine. What's that guy? They showed a video about it. The black girl. Hey, Starshine. I didn't talk like that. Of course not. But still, you know, I show love. But you got to be nonchalant. When I was nonchalant, I was smooth. It happens. Men are learning, and men know this. Men understand now. It's cheaper to pay to play than pay for a date, and that's what you're experiencing.
You owe me, and if you don't, you're using me. That's how sick and twisted these men are. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather just not date.
Do we care?
Because the idea that a man is truly convinced that I would spend my day off that I could be spending with friends, family, or myself, that I would use my time, my energy, my makeup to sit across the table from him just to get a free meal is actually so wild and disturbing. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Save your $100. Don't even worry about it. You're okay.
Something that is not talked about enough is how there's going to be a population decline in like the next 10 years. Because there are so many beautiful men and women out there that are not dating anyone. I'm going to be talking about this from my point of view and from a girl's side of things. Every single couple that I meet in today's age, they have met on a dating app. Now, once in a blue moon, do I hear like, oh, we were high school sweethearts or something? But for majority, no. It is all through a dating app. And for those people who are in relationships, shout out to you. Honestly, you're amazing. Good for you that like all these dating apps worked for you. But for a good chunk of individuals, dating apps just aren't the thing for everyone, no matter what the reason might be. Now, for myself, I hate texting. I feel as though that I am a big talker. So when I go on a dating app and like trying to start up a conversation, get to know someone, via text does not work. The other option we have is to meet people organically, out and about in the real world. But honestly, that is very funny because it does not happen whatsoever. So this is where we're gonna see a population decrease because no one talks to each other anymore and like tries to make a move in person, if that makes sense. I'm 24 years old and I have never had a boyfriend. And I think I'm like the perfect case study for this entire topic because I'm a girl who in high school was a part of sports teams, also was in the performing arts, was working like 3 jobs. And I went to a 4-year undergraduate university, dormed there, lived the whole college experience, went out and everything, had the whole shebang, rah, rah, and nothing happened. Now I am 1 year post-grad, which is so freaking weird. And I have been at home in the same exact spot working. I work full-time as a bartender, the place where you think you would be able to meet people. And on top of it, I'm traveling, I'm going out, I'm living my best life. And nothing ever comes of it. Now, this isn't supposed to be like some sad sob story. I'm not the only one that this happens to. Like, I have so many friends that are in the same exact position. So to anyone feeling like you're the problem, it's not you, it's everyone. There is so many people in this world feeling the same exact way that I've never had a boyfriend. Am I weird for this? No, you're not. Something's in the air, and I feel like people are not pursuing it as much as they should be. Because nobody wants to be alone. Everyone would love to have a partner in life. And if we continue at this rate, we're simply gonna see a world where no one is in a relationship and the birth rate is gonna be the lowest it's ever been.
I'll tell you where you're feeling at. But what's happening is you look like you take cocks on the floor. Seriously, she looks like the biggest 3 or 4. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's how a guy's thinking. Like, she says she's never had anybody. Is she telling the truth? Because men can't trust your word. They won't take these ladies' word for what it is, for what you're saying to me, because you look like you take cocks on the forehead. Seriously, I'll tell you what. Go, I don't know where you live, but go to the urban parts of town and then see how many guys talk to you. Or go out near the urban parts of town. Ignore the drive-bys, but the guys are going to talk to you. Yeah. You'll probably get trained that night. That'll probably be her first experience because she's so eager. And she's like, oh, wow, this attention I'm getting. They're going to give you a lot of attention. And you're going to be introduced to the wild side. But you know what's funny? She's young still. She's going to like living on that side. She's going to be corrupted. She doesn't know it yet. Right now is a good time. You should be dressing more classy. Maybe go to your father. If you have a father, go to him and say, Dad, I want to get a man. What should I do? And take his advice and let him lead you, because that's what's needed. Because nowadays, modern women can't be trusted to their own recognizances. They can't.
Okay, I get secondhand embarrassment when
Fellas, a shift is starting to happen. Viewer discretion is advised.
girls are like, oh my God, so many guys tried to talk to me, or all I have to do is post and they're all going to come back. Men will anything.
I'll be completely honest, Shorty didn't tell not one lie. Not one. The standard for men sleeping with women is not very high. So when women say, oh, I got all these niggas in my DMs, I never understand why they would even bother saying that. Like, the worst of the worst women still getting cracked by a man is not an accomplishment. If I'm being completely honest, getting a man to commit and take care of you, now we talking. But for whatever reason, y'all feel the need to prove to us that y'all get niggas. And I'm like, that's not an accomplishment for you. It takes nothing.
That is not a flex. Don't do that.
I appreciate content like this because there's a shift happening. They are starting to become a bit more aware of what really matters. And I'm happy the young lady is of a certain level of attraction, because the first thing women would do was get in her comments and say, oh, you just ugly, you wouldn't understand. But because she's a fairly attractive woman, the fact of the matter is she get to talk this, and it's the absolute truth, and it's going to hold some kind of weight in the female community. Ladies, there is no flex, no accomplishment, there's no cool points for getting niggas in your DMs. If you're having a conversation ever, and one of your responses has to be, oh, what is niggas in my DMs? You already lost the conversation. But y'all know what? Like any other video, you ain't got to listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. I keep the change.
If you haven't already, go back and watch my last video where I talk about how men don't really like us anymore. And originally, when I was saying us, I'm really directing it towards black women. And I feel like black men do not have a strong desire anymore to be with black women. I don't know why. It may be a multiple of things. It may not just be one reason why, but there has definitely been a shift. And we see it now all over social media. If you look at your top athletes, top black celebrities, look at their wives, look at their children, look at all of Nick Cannon's baby mamas, Cam Newton's baby mamas. You know, like, I can keep going. Like, there's not a desire for one, black men to commit to black women.
I wonder why.
And there's not a desire for black men to make black women the mother of their children, even though they came from black women. They were raised by black women. They grow up, they become successful, and they don't pick us. And now we see it translating down into the middle class world, right? I'm not a celebrity. The people I date are not celebrities. We don't have that kind of money. But now it's being translated to a level where I could relate to, where your working class black man, white collar or blue collar, they're not choosing us anymore either. That's just a fact. Like, that's just a fact. And you could go back on my last post and you could read the comments. It is true. It is true. And it's actually heartbreaking as a black woman to hear men say those things and to see that, like, they just don't want us. That breaks my heart a little bit. It does. It does. And I don't know what it's going to look like moving forward for the quote unquote traditional black family, because we're not going to have them anymore. It's sad.
Dating men in 2025 is so frustrating. I don't understand. Why do men think they are the only ones who work? They think that they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize for working. Like, literally every single guy that I have met on Bumble or Tinder, it's always the conversation of, oh my God, yes, we should go on a date. But the guy's always like, I just work so much. It's hard for me to find time. I'm like, what did you do today? Work. I'm like, okay, so can we make plans this week? I'm working. I work so much. Everybody works. Like, why do men think that they're the only ones who work? And you don't work a 24-hour shift. Please show me your shift. I'm sure you get off at 4 p.m. and you crack open a beer and watch whatever football game. You do not work 24 hours. Everybody works. Do you really want to know what an all-day working feels like? Women who are hairstylists, they actually do work all day, from morning through the night. You do not have a 24-hour shift. You have time, you get off work. I'm so sick of all these men like, do you want to be alone for the rest of your life then? Men are always like, I work. I just work so much. You don't work a 24-hour shift. Everyone works. You're not special.
You know, you have to think about the guys. Some guys work 2 or 3 jobs because it's better to do that than to date. Understand, ladies. Understand what's happening. It's a shift. Things are changing.
Right, I've got to say it, girls. I've got to say it, girls and guys. I've got to get this out there because it's doing my head in. Why, when you hit your 50s, yeah, and you're single and you think, I'm going to dabble in a bit of dating. Now, as soon as you start going on the internet, which is where a lot of people do date. I mean, not even the young people go out dating anymore. It's all on bloody line. Anyway, as soon as you go on there, you get a message, hi, how are you, blah, 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 and then straight in with the sexual innuendo, straight in with the sexual, are you up for a bit of fun? I'm just here for a bit of fun. Let's see a picture. Why do men just not date anymore? Are women just perceived as like this sex object or something? Are we looked at as women, or are we looked at as a piece of meat? Because this is why I've been single for 3 years.
Are you sure about that?
This is why. Because I just don't think there's any serious men out there anymore. Either that or people are just, I don't know, just on the internet for a bit of a chat, a bit of a fun. I don't know. Girls,
Please tell me I'm not the only one experiencing this in my 50s.
Everybody's going through it. And the reason why everyone's going through it, men have given up on dating. They understand if you're not giving it to me, you're giving it to somebody. So start giving it to me. Let me try to initiate some way you're going to give it to me. I'll tell you, sometimes some relationships actually start from just getting it on. Yes, that happens. I've almost gotten with girls I just got it on with. If I didn't get with them, I was with them long term. Yes, situationships are not that good. I don't do them anymore. I'm married. But during that time, it was like we were going out because sometimes we went out. I didn't just smash, I smashed. And then on the weekend, I would take them out. That's like a relationship. Men are learning.
Here's a story time about one of my dating experiences where I basically get played. Basically, I met this guy on a night out in Bali. Yes, Bali again. This was while I was traveling, not living here. It was basically a drunken hookup. That was about it, honestly. I wake up the next morning, realize that me and this guy had added each other on Instagram, and I look at his profile and I was like, oh damn, I must have been really drunk because this guy was not my type. I was not going for looks that day. Didn't think much about it. I was like, oh, whatever. I fly back to Sydney and this guy, he actually starts messaging me. He's like replying to my stories and yeah, he's trying to have a conversation with me. The fact that this guy is actually showing interest in me kind of made me feel more curious about him. Days go past, we are chit-chatting here and there, and eventually he's like, oh, I need to do a visa run. I'm thinking of coming to Sydney. And I was like, okay, yeah, like sure thing, like you should totally come. Sydney's beautiful. I'll recommend a bunch of things for you to do. But the thing with this is that he actually starts hinting things where he basically wanted to come to see me. He was like, where should I stay? I'll give him a recommendation, and then he'd be like, oh, like is that close to you? I'll be like, no. And then he'd be like, oh, that's fine, like you can just stay with me the whole time. And I was like, I think he got the idea that I did not want him to come for me because firstly, I had only met him once for a couple hours and I was super drunk, and secondly, I had my own life in Sydney. So he got the idea. He eventually was like, oh, I've actually convinced my friends to come along with me to the Sydney trip. I actually later found out that him convincing his friends to come was him basically funding the entire trip to Sydney. Anyways, I was very flattered that he was still coming to Sydney. I could clearly see that he was coming for me. So he gets here with his friends, he introduces me to his friends, we have dinner together, we go out together, we even go to a music festival. He met all my friends, he got along with my friends so well. It was actually really nice. And he also organized a really nice date for us. Like it was basically our first proper date. It was like a boat tour around Sydney. It was super nice. So the 5 days go by, that's how long they were meant to stay for, and his friends leave. But then he's like, I think I'm going to extend my stay because, you know, I want to spend more time with you. So he extends his stay. I basically spent...
I had to stop that, right? Because she's not picking up on everything. She just said he paid for his friends to come. She just said he extended his stay. She's not thinking, money, 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 money. She's thinking, he doesn't look good. He doesn't turn me on. There's modern women in Sydney, Australia as well. It's like a Western culture, a country in the East. It's like UK and US. That's why guys even in Australia are done.
And all 5 days with him, just me and him one-on-one time. And of course, naturally, we did get very close. He actually does a lot of grand things. Like he takes us on a private helicopter tour around Sydney. He was taking me out for dinner. He took me out to Nobu. I was really shocked because no guy has really done that for me. And I was like, wow, there are actually some decent guys out there who are willing to, you know, spend that time, effort, money on a girl. But yeah, I didn't really think this was that serious because we didn't know each other that well. This was basically the second time we had met each other. So I thought this was probably just a little fling for him. On the last night, I had a serious chat with him. I was like, look, you go back to Bali tomorrow. I actually come to Bali in 2 weeks. This is when I was moving over. And I was like, I would love to see you when I come, but like all good if you just want to do your own thing. Basically saying you can just stay single and go on with your life. But he was like, no, if you see anyone else, we're done. I will never talk to you ever again. This guy must be serious. He wants to be exclusive here. And I was like, okay, I'm happy to, explore things. Like, I'm happy to commit to this guy and
desperate.
And see where things can go. I
Look
basically
how I
deleted all
started.
my dating app profiles. I stopped talking to all the guys that I was having a conversation with. And I committed to him. So during these 2 weeks, all I had done was talk to him only. Like, we were talking every day. It was actually really good. When it came to me coming to Bali, he had done some grand things for me. I arrived in Bali. He had organized a private escort to pick me up from the airplane, escort me through the entire airport, pay for my visas and everything, and organize a police car to escort our car to his accommodation so we can skip traffic. Like, how insane is that? I didn't even know you can do that. He had actually also offered both me and my best friend to stay at his villa for like the week until we had sorted out our accommodation. I was like, wow, this guy is a very generous man. He is so nice.
He's rich.
I was basically living with him. We did some really fun things, went out to some really nice dinners, hung out with him and his friends. We had movie nights in. He even took me to his brother's family's house. Like, I met his brother's wife, his brother's kid, his family friends, his dogs. This guy must be serious. Like, he was really doing the most. He was also opening up to me a lot about, his family, his future plans, how much money he was making. I found that a bit weird, but at the same time, I was like, okay, look, he's probably just really proud of his success. Anyways, things were going well, but the week goes by and it's time for me and my friend to check into our new accommodation. This is a Friday night. We leave and I'm like, feel free to join us for dinner. He's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm gonna have dinner with the boys and then we're just gonna play games afterwards. And I was like, yeah, cool, like, go for it. Later that night, I messaged him and I was like, oh, how's dinner? And he's very unresponsive. He's normally replies to me straight away, very quick. It's like, oh, this is weird. Like, he would reply, but he would take a while. I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, he's probably just busy. Later that night, I messaged him, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep, good night. He does not reply. This is so out of character of him because he always says good night to me. He doesn't reply and I go to bed with a weird gut feeling. I was thinking, okay, this guy has either gone out after his boys' dinner and met another girl, like, who knows? I just had this gut feeling that he was occupied with another girl. The next morning, he still had not replied to like my last 3 messages. I was like, kind of getting worried. And he finally replies. His response was, oh, sorry, my phone went into update and I couldn't use my phone, so I just put it away and went to bed. Sus, but also believable. Later that day, he messages me this long ass message being like, I think we should take things slow. I think we're moving too fast. La-di-da-da. It was a bit out of the blue, but at the same time, I was like, hey, look, this is understandable. We've been spending so much time together so suddenly. I understand why it could be overwhelming. So I was so understanding about it. He's like, let's have a serious chat about this on Monday. We don't speak for the rest of the weekend. Monday comes around and he does not message me at all day. And I was like, does this guy want to have this chat at all or what? By like 5 p.m. or something, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to message him first. He replies back and he's like, oh, sorry, I'm about to have a poker night with the boys at mine. They're coming over and it'll probably end late. That was his reply. Not even like, can we maybe do this tomorrow morning or tomorrow or anything. Like, there was no alternative.
the bro talk.
I was like, a bit annoyed by that. If this is meant to be a serious chat, then take it seriously, right? I'm like, look, if this is going to be a serious chat about us, like, to do it ASAP, if there is an issue or anything, let me know, because I don't want you to be wasting my time no more. Then he's like, to be honest, there is somebody else. I'm like, holy shit, are you serious?
You got the bro talk too.
Honestly, I just did not know how to reply. He goes on about like, I don't know what I want. I want to be free and single. I can't give what you want. I'm just trying to figure out my life. Yeah, I was just like, okay, you want to be single? Go for it. But just know that if you want to be free and single and just have casual hookups with other girls, do not be doing these grand things for them, because that's basically what he did for me. And yeah, he kind of just like manipulated me into thinking that he was taking the relationship seriously, but in actual fact he wasn't. He was talking to another girl the entire time that he was talking to me, even though he had asked me to be exclusive. Moral of the story, if you want to just be single and have casual hookups, by all means do it, but just set the expectation and set your boundaries, because if you don't, someone is going to get hurt. It's just so
rich guys
easily
play,
avoidable, and it's such a dickhead move if you don't do that. Some men can be real idiots, so now you know. So that's how I got played.
The Iceman is coming! answer is here.